Hello and welcome to the Met Office 10-day trend. Following two exceptionally cold episodes of weather so far this March, well, you might be hoping that spring has finally arrived. And over the next 10 days, it will occasionally feel spring-like with sunny spells and heavy downpours. And with the increasingly strong March sunshine, we'll also have some mild days. But there are now fairly strong signals that the temperatures will take a downturn. At the end of next week, it's going to start to feel much colder again heading into the Easter weekend. And we could even see in some places some Easter snowfall. Not everywhere though, and it's certainly a big contrast as we begin the next 10 days. Wednesday night going into Thursday, mild air covers the UK, winds from the southwest, and actually beginning Thursday, a ridge of high pressure before weather fronts approach from the west, driven by an increasingly strong jet stream. But before that arrives, actually for much of Scotland, England, Wales, bright spells, a fair amount of cloud out there, but with a southwesterly airflow, temperatures responding well. 12, 13 degrees in the south and southeast, 14 degrees in the northeast of Scotland around Murray, could make it the warmest day for Scotland of the year so far. But in the west of Scotland and Northern Ireland, the clouds thicken. Towards the end of Thursday, rain arrives, and here it won't feel quite as pleasant. Now that rain and the wind will sweep its way eastwards as we begin Friday. Still some dregs to clear from East Anglia in the southeast during Friday, but for many, bright spells, although some heavy downpours returning into much of central and northern Scotland. And with colder air here, there'll be some snow over the hills. However, with lighter winds and some sunshine, it will feel quite pleasant. Now, further west, again, out towards the West Atlantic and specifically the eastern seaboard of the United States and Canada, here we've got a nor'easter happening as we speak. At the time of recording, this low pressure pushing its way northwards, bringing snowfall to some places, strong winds and some heavy rainfall. And a small bout of heavy rainfall will just leave that low pressure and travel all the way across the Atlantic during Thursday and into Friday. That driven by a strong jet stream, and there are uncertainties at the moment in terms of how it will interact exactly with that jet stream, but the most likely scenario is that it will develop into an area of low pressure and it will head towards the southwest of the country later on Friday. What does that mean? Well, it means that for southwest England in particular, but also for South Wales, southern counties of England, we'll see rain pushing in towards the end of Friday, and overnight a strengthening wind and a lot of cloud cover. You can see the outbreaks of rain there, but a lot of uncertainty at the moment in terms of the track and the depth of this low, so I wouldn't take any computer graphics here too literally. What looks most likely is that as we begin the weekend, we'll have a wet start across southern counties of England and Wales, outbreaks of persistent rain and a lot of cloud cover. Brighter skies for northern England, for much of Scotland and Northern Ireland, but here a fresh breeze from the northwest and some heavy downpours developing through Saturday. Sunshine and showers in the north effectively, and for much of the country by Sunday, well, it's sunshine and showers again. Perhaps some more prolonged spells of rain just lingering there in the far south. Again, some uncertainty about this, but for most it's a showery picture on Sunday, some heavy downpours. But away from the downpours, with these isobars spread apart, well, actually there'll be light winds and the sun is getting increasingly strong, so it's going to feel quite pleasant in any sunny spells. But we are to the cold side of the jet stream, and that means that there'll be some overnight frost this weekend. It's not going to be particularly warm, although as we begin Monday into next week, we're going to see this little ridge, this little bump in the jet stream pushing in, and that means that the showers will die away at the start of next week. We'll see some milder air arrive. But it doesn't stay fine for long. After that brief ridge of high pressure, low pressure starts to turn up, and that means that as we end Monday, outbreaks of rain push in to the west. Now this rain is being carried by a southwesterly breeze, and so temperatures will lift. And after a frosty start on Monday, as that rain arrives into the west on Tuesday, temperatures generally across the country returning to average, although it's not going to feel particularly pleasant with that wind and rain moving through. So wet day to come on Tuesday. The low pressure then migrates its way eastwards, and this is a rough simulation in terms of what we expect to happen through the middle to the latter part of next week. Low pressure pushes eastwards, and then we get a colder northwesterly or even northerly airflow. Now, at this time of year, that would bring below average temperatures, but it would also bring a mixture of sunshine and showers. So best guess for the mid to late part of next week is that temperatures will take a downturn again. We'll see a mixture of sunshine and showers, and there'll be some snowfall, particularly over northern hills. So next week, a fine start. Monday looks fairly decent, but it turns wet and milder again on Tuesday. Rain out of the way through Wednesday, and then colder temperatures and showers returning later. Nothing particularly extreme, certainly through Thursday and into Friday. However, there are some peculiarities happening with the weather throughout the Northern Hemisphere at the moment. And if you've watched previous 10-day trends, we've talked a lot about something called sudden stratospheric warming, which happened in the middle of February. And that was a sudden warming of air that was way above the North Pole in the stratosphere. And when that warming happened, it disrupted something called the polar vortex. The polar vortex is this pool of very cold air above the North Pole, and when it becomes disrupted, well, it throws into whack the jet stream that surrounds the polar vortex. And that jet stream typically brings us mild and unsettled weather from the Atlantic, from the west. Now, through next week, the jet stream will be coming from the west at times, bringing us areas of low pressure, but we've already seen that jet stream disrupted twice so far this March, and we've seen winds arrive from Siberia. And into next week, well, the jet stream looks to be continuing in this fairly disrupted state, and that means that we won't get so many strong westerlies, and we could potentially open the door to northerlies, and that's the most likely scenario as we head into Easter weekend. Winds generally from the north, and of course that will mean colder than average temperatures as we head into Good Friday and into Saturday. With those colder average temperatures, we will see showers, and those showers will be wintry, a mixture of rain, sleet and snow, particularly in the north, but not exclusively. So that's the most likely scenario as we head into Easter weekend. A colder than average feel, with winds from the north and wintry showers, but the sun is gaining in strength, and that means that in any sunshine it's not going to feel desperately cold, and it certainly doesn't look as if it's going to be as extreme as the previous two easterly wind events that we've had during March. Nighttime frosts, some snow showers by day, perhaps some settling snow, particularly over northern hills, but also some sunshine, and where we get some shelter from the winds, it won't feel too bad at all. You can, of course, keep up to date with all the forecasts through next week where you are, any updates that we issue through the Met Office website, through our app, and by following us on social media. Bye-bye.